Kimberly back with another EVERDELL. So with EVERDELL EMERLAND, players are essentially exploring the jungle, hearing the music, and experiencing the culture of this very thematic EVERDELL. Feels very kind of spring, especially after we got through Silver Frost, which was a really, really tough winter. So everything here is very lush and very green. So in this game, I really want to talk about what is new to the EVERDELL system that Emerland offers players, and if this is going to join my collection, if this is going to be the quintessential EVERDELL that I play. So the very first feature in this game is that players have a dedicated archaeologist that they are going to send on a trail. This person, just the figure stays on that track the entire time, and you will essentially be spending resources to make progress, going down the path during various seasons of the game, which if you're familiar with EVERDELL, you start in a season, and every time you need to essentially quit because you're done, you can't do any more actions, you prepare for the next round by going into, in this case, fall, and then winter, and then spring. And by doing so, you are getting your workers back, you are gaining more workers, and even possibly resources based on your production cards. And also in this space right here, players are going to receive an emerald, which is a very, very valuable resource in this game. So this archaeologist track not only gets you victory points and progresses you down until you can receive big victory points by the end of the game if you get to the end of the track, it also allows you to gain these tokens. So these are artifact tokens, and it comes in this bag. So whenever you do that action to move your archaeologist, which is excavate with an archaeologist, you are going to discard at least one card, if not more, drawing from the bag the number of cards you've discarded, and then you get to take one. So let's say I discarded 2 cards, I will look at these 2 tokens, and I will pick one of them. So it looks like I got, wow, 6 victory points or 3 victory points. I think I'm going to take, let's say the 6 victory points. So I'll take this guy and put it in my player area, putting this one back into the bag. Sometimes these artifacts give you lower victory points, but they also give you an immediate benefit like a resource or an action, like drawing a card or something. So I take that and I put it in my player area after paying my resource to move into the next space. That's the new feature with the archaeologist, but that figure isn't yours to then go there. You just have them always making progress on this path according to the season you're in. That's one major feature. Another one is that you have a tableau of 6 cards out here in the center. Duplicates are stacked on top, so if you get 2 Vine Surfers or 2 Map Shops, you're going to place them one on top of the other. And then I want to talk about the biggest feature with the cards. The cards are now double-sided. So if I take a look at this floating market right here, this is going to be one of those rucksack types of cards. It costs what it says up here. If you have a construct, which is a building, you're going to be paying resources. Like in this version, you've got marble, you've got bamboo, you have leaf, and then if you have a critter, you're going to be feeding them figs. And so this is an example of a construct. Here's an example of a critter. So a creature, you pay them 1 fig, and you'll know it's a critter or creature because you've got this symbol right here. So that is going to be what that particular card is. This is the pay any 2, and you get to have the floating market. And this is another brand new feature for this game specifically. So this is going to be the traveling merchant down the floating river. These dice are rolled at the beginning of the round, and when it says first player going into a new season gets to re-roll these dice. And these dice are going to have different kinds of symbols on them for cards, for resources, and for victory points. And there's a wild. So that's what these guys are out here, and that says you can take 2 items from any of those particular dice. The same die twice or 2 different dice once. The thing about these cards, though, is I've got the floating market. It's worth no victory points. I get this ability once when I build it. Well, there's a thing in this game called upgrading cards. And when you upgrade a card, you turn it over, and it has a really glitter side. The bottom becomes brown as opposed to green. Your victory points might possibly go up, and your special ability gets better, with which you get to activate immediately. So with that rucksack, now you've upgraded it, it's worth more, and you also get to take 3 things from the floating market. Every card does that. All the cards in the deck, and there are a ton of cards with all very, very brand new, unique, fun things. Look at these cards. These are all the cards, right, in the stack, and then you flip them over, and it's still, oh, it's the Elder. It's still the Elder, but the benefit gets better. So if it is a production card, you activate it again when you do it, just like you do a rucksack. So you're going to be able to do that. Discard a card, gain a resource of your choice, and an emerald. And again, your victory point probably, I'm going to say, got better. Yep, it went from 1 to 2. And you always see the benefit down here in the bottom. So you know what your upgrade ability is going to be because it says so. So production cards and rucksacks, which is the brown little rucksack, those guys will activate right away again when you flip it over. These 2 different cards are going to, oh, here's one more. I'm going to do this one. This is going to be one of those red pawpaw cards, and essentially says you've got a special place just for your worker to go to. I haven't talked about the helpers just yet, but this could be either or, a worker or a helper. And you get to do what it says down here when you place a figure there. If your figure's already on here and you upgrade the Vine Surfer, you flip it over and you get to do the thing again because your worker's already on it. So when you upgrade your cards, you are not just getting better victory points, you get to activate it again. And that's a very, very new feature. That's a really interesting thing that no previous Everdell has allowed. So those are the 3 cards you get to activate again right away. The Governance Blue Scroll cards essentially just make your ongoing benefit better. So this one says houses would cost you 1 less in River Explorer, and this one says when you play a house or a construct, you may discard a card to pay 1 less. So it's just a better ability, more victory points. These cards are new to the game. These are called Artisan cards. They're orange with the little cross hammer, and they ask you to play in front of you. Oh, let me put it on the basic side first. You will get this ability right here if you take a card from your hand and you tuck it underneath this card. 1 card per action you get to activate, maximum 2 total. So that's what this is. Here's your player action card. It says use Artisan card by tucking 1 card under, gaining it. Now you better believe, because this card is on the basic side, it's actually better for you if you wait to upgrade it and then tuck a card, because then you get 2 marble and 1 victory point instead of just the 1. So those cards are brand new, and you tuck cards underneath them to get the thing that it says. And then lastly, the only other card I haven't talked about is, of course, those purple prosperity cards. They just get better. So this is core victory points, 3 victory points if you have 3 realm cards. I haven't talked about realm cards yet. But 5, which is more points for fewer requirements. So that's what this upgrade is going to be, and it's even bigger victory points from 3 to 4. So upgrading is this space right up here. You can pay an emerald by spending one of your emeralds from your supply to go here to just simply flip over a card. Anytime you see that blue card symbol, that just says you get to upgrade a card. And when you do that, again, it's just super easy. And I'm trying to find one of those guys, and boy, I can't even find it. Maybe it'll be here in just a second whenever I want to show you up close. Wow, where are those upgrade cards? I swear they're on your cards right here, and I'm going to get to one. There it is. Took me a while. This crafter, he's a rucksack man. When you pay 2 figs, put him down in your play area, pay an emerald, you get to upgrade a card. And then, of course, if it's on its flip side, when you do it, you just pay an emerald, flip 2. So good, so good. So that's going to be the upgrade symbol that allows you to make your all your cards better and or reactivate them if they are of those first 3 that I talked about. Now, This space right here that I'm showing you, that you essentially went to, I'm going to put these cards, some of the cards back in order. If it's brown, you get to send your helper to that space, and only your helper can go there by itself. You can send another one of your helpers there. No spaces are blocked with these brown spaces. Other players can send their helpers there, and anybody can go, and you just go and you get to do the action. So that's new here, is there's a new space just for helpers. The spaces that are green are for your workers, and much like you see in Silver Frost, you can send a worker with a helper to double that action if nobody else is there first, or if somebody else is there, you can send your worker with your helper to negotiate for you to actually just go there full stop. You don't get to double, but you get to negotiate, since this is a worker placement game that does block folks. Now, there's one other space, and these are called the fountain spaces. And the fountain spaces you can go to, you can never double. So you can't send a guy there to double that action, but you can go there to negotiate. So I'm there, and now Red can go there with their helper, and they can actually do that action as well. So there are several places where you are going with your workers and or your helpers that are a little bit different. The last thing that I haven't mentioned that I talked about down here are the realm cards. The realm cards are new. These are cards that you get that allow you to expand your player area, which is your kingdom, your kind of like your group of cards. You're collecting all these constructs and these critters. You can have 12 in your display, which is this, one more than 12 per realm card that you have in your player area. Your hand limit is now 6, which is pretty restricting. And the only other thing I haven't talked about is the harps, which is pretty helpful. I think it's definitely a way to make it a little bit easier to get those critters into your space. So these are the realm cards that I was talking about, and they are simply going to be ways to get victory points for what you're doing in your personal player area. And they are a variety of things that match everything in the game. So there's those little pawpaw cards, 2 per. This is your vine canopy. Here's some for your blue scrolls, your governance cards, and so forth. The ones up here, I've got a canyon for harps. I've got waterfalls. I've got beaches. So the harps. The harps are places you go. You can get them through cards. You can get them through a location. And what you need to do is you have to have a construct, which this is a construct right here, a building. It must be upgraded. And then you can place a harp on it that you have collected and build a critter for free. You don't have to pay anything, but you can only do this once per type of card. So you can have 6 of these, and that's what this harp explanation says. It says you can place an upgraded construction to play any critter, and they come in upgraded on the special super cool side. So that's amazing. But you can only do 1 per production. You have 1 construct that's production green. You can do 1 harp on there. You can do 1 harp on governance. You can do 1 harp on critter pawpaws, 1 harp on artisan, and so forth. So you can have 6 harps, and there's no more unique critters and constructs. There's no more common. There's no more matching your particular type of card to your other type of card. So there's a little bit freer play with the harp, and it of course plays into the theme here. So those are all the new elements and components to what Emerland offers players. So what I would say now is this the quintessential Everdell? Is this like the one that I've got to have? Is this the one that's going to stay in my collection and come out? Probably not. Now I say the cards, amazing. I think that's probably the coolest innovation to Everdell that I have seen in the latest iterations of all the Everdells. I mean, it's kind of blowing me away. I love how you get to have one side that's basic. You purchase it and then you upgrade it and you get to do the thing. It's better. You want to upgrade all your cards. Every card is double-sided. But that's the only feature in this brand new version that is really gripping me. All the other things are very low-key changes and or very similar to the changes they made with Silver Frost. And so for me, there wasn't enough of that kind of like grab my attention, blow me away with these features. This one is dynamite. And if that captures you, if you feel like that definitely feels like your style of gaming, then you definitely have to check this out. There's some really fun luck with the dice rolling and what your resources could be down here in the floating river. It's very low key. It has less pressure and less stress, I think, than some of the other Everdells. There's a lot of pressure and stress with the fire tokens and with the frost coming in for winter and silver frost, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. And so for me, the pressure and the stress in that game is well worth all of the gameplay. And here, I don't necessarily feel that stress. I don't feel that pressure. The resources are adorable. They're just as lovely as always. They always try really hard to make everything feel so unique and interesting. The bamboo are nigh to impossible to pick up. The figs always roll around, but they always have a rolly resource in every game. The marbles are really nice. The emeralds are cute. I love this. It's kind of like look at that. It's kind of bends. It's like a little soft. It's got some really nice texture to it. So the resources, totally live up to all their resources expectations with players. Drawing in the bag with the artifacts is pretty lucky. I could draw 6 points or I could draw 1 point. And every time I go, I could draw 1 point. So there's a little bit of luck here that players may not be that, open to. The hand restriction of 6 and only having 6 out here in the open market can be pretty restricting too when you have cards that activate things out in the center. So for me, the balance, the dynamic, the gameplay had some nice features to it, but it's not going to be the one I necessarily pull out that I am excited to share with other players that have or haven't played Everdell. I'm probably going to do Everdell Duo with my husband if I want to play just a 2-player, and if I want to play a bigger player count, I'm probably going to pull out Farshore or I'm going to pull out Silverfrost. Probably not Emerland, but it's good. It's good. They have definitely thought out the theme and the features and the resources very well. But for me, the double-sided card is dynamite, 10 out of 10, but it isn't necessarily enough to captivate me for an entire game. So that's going to be it for me, folks. I will see you next time. Bye.